left and go somewhere to relax for a few weeks. That might sound impossible considering what happened, but force yourself to take a break. You're not going to recoup what you lost in the last few weeks anyway. Instead, give yourself those weeks to clear your energy, to let that anger, resentment, and confusion get out of your system. You must do that to create space for new energy to come into your life. Once you feel like you've created that space, go back home and start the process of putting your life back together again. If you're broke, work on your new company during the day and drive an Uber at night, or deliver pizzas. Don't think those jobs are beneath you. Never allow your mind to start obsessing over the idea that a couple of months ago you were talking about an acquisition and now you're driving an Uber. Understand that you won't be driving an Uber or delivering pizzas forever. They're just stepping stones you're going to have to utilize to get back to where you were. Don't let the thought of starting all over again make you depressed. Understand that most successful people end up chasing the same dream multiple times before they ever come to fruition. Accept that what seemed like a disaster was really a temporary hardship that every hustler goes through. You're no better or worse than any of them. Keep saving and grinding until you're in a position to start that business up again. This time, you'll be a little more thorough in choosing a partner. You'll be a little more careful in overseeing the books and making sure everyone is doing what they're supposed to do. Your new model will be stronger with better infrastructure. And when those bigger companies come sniffing around again, you'll be in a position to sell on much better terms than you were with the first one. When you do sell, if you're petty, you can invite your old partner to the celebration you're going to throw. But I wouldn't advise that. He'll probably already know how badly he messed up without it coming from your lips. Here's the key. That scenario that I just laid out can only happen if you take full responsibility for what happened with the first company. Yes, you didn't screw up. Your friend did. Yes, you didn't fail to pay the bills or develop negative habits that you hid. Your friend did those things. Those problems, however, are yours and yours alone to correct. If you don't immediately get back on the grind and take responsibility for fixing what happened, you are the one that's going to suffer. You can't allow yourself to fall into the resentment trap, even when it seems to be the most natural thing to do. The only way you're ever going to experience that freedom Freud was talking about is to accept complete and total responsibility for creating it. Importing hustle. I doubt there's anyone reading this book who has been set up for success the way Marquise and Junior were. Did your father buy out the inventory of a brick-and-mortar store in order to help you launch an online site? Did you make your debut in front of 80,000 screaming fans? I didn't think so. But even without the advantages they enjoyed, you might still experience some of the same sensations of resentment or entitlement that have tripped those guys up. This is especially true if you're still in your 20s or early 30s. There's a growing perception that millennials don't have the same work ethic as previous generations. A poll by Reason Group found that 65% of American adults think the younger generation is entitled. That might be what the polls say, but I can't lay the blame solely at the feet of the internet babies. Shaniqua isn't a millennial. Neither are the guys in G. They're from the same generation as me. We were all raised with the same expectations. There's also a perception that entitlement is a specific byproduct of being a spoiled white kid. I don't believe that either. My son's rich, but he sure isn't white. None of those dudes that grew up with me in Queens were white either. I don't view entitlement as an issue that's about young versus old, or black versus white. If anything, it's become an American issue. In this country, it seems like we resent having to hustle for success. We celebrate glamorous jobs or high-profile positions, but the 9-to-5 grind seems beneath us. We suck our teeth stocking the shelves at Target or collecting tickets at the movie theater. Unless a job reflects exactly what we think we deserve, which, let's be honest, most jobs never will, we act like it's a waste of our time. You don't feel that energy nearly as much in other countries. I've probably lapped the globe 3 or 4 times by now. I've eaten in 1,000 restaurants overseas, stayed in 1,000 hotels, and ridden in the back of 1,000 cars. I can report that the attitude about work is usually different abroad. People take their job seriously, no matter what level they're on. I see this in Asian places like Japan, Taiwan, and Singapore. From the street sweepers up to the entrepreneurs I meet, it seems like everyone is hustling hard. No one is acting like they resent their job. Everyone seems to be trying to get ahead. It's the same way in the countries I visited in Africa and the Middle East. From the dudes selling water on the street corners to the women working in the hotel shops, no one is slacking. Everyone seems dialed into whatever task is in front of them. Remember the hypothetical peanut stand I wrote about earlier? The one I'd open if I ever went broke? Well, when you're overseas, it seems like everyone has the same approach. They accept that they have to hustle relentlessly. And if they do, day after day, year after year, they believe they can hustle their way to a better life. Despite all the opportunities we enjoy, I'm not sure people have the same confidence in this country. Over here, the sense of entitlement is found at every level of society. I certainly feel it among the rich. It seems like the people in the million-dollar penthouses feel like they have the right to live there. Everything about their identity is tied up in not losing that position. They believe their lifestyle is their birthright. At the same time, the people in the low-end housing feel like no matter what they do, they're never going to get one of those penthouses themselves. So instead of hustling harder, they stop caring. That's one of the real lasting effects that slavery has had on African Americans.